Natalia's final message exposes the burn location. Sonny's trap is perfect. General Hospital spoilers. The faint scent of smoke lingered in the air above Port Charles. Though the fire had long been extinguished, its ghost haunted the ruins of the abandoned estate at the edge of town, an estate now scorched, gutted, and the centerpiece of controversy. Natalia Ramirez, singer, socialite, and mother of Blaze, had vanished weeks earlier after warning her daughter not to trust anyone, even Sonny Corinthos. But then came the message. A digital file, time-stamped the night of the fire. Blaze received it through an anonymous email address she didn't recognize. Sitting alone in her Metro Court suite, her hands trembled as she clicked play. Natalia's face appeared, dusty, frightened, but resolute. "If you're seeing this," she said, "I didn't make it. Don't believe the lies about the fire. That place was never meant to be a retreat, it was a trap. And Sonny Corinthos knew it." Blaze was paralyzed by what she'd just seen. The fire had already been declared accidental, blamed on faulty wiring in a neglected structure. But Natalia's message painted a sinister picture. Hidden meetings, threats, people watching from the shadows. She described a secret deal made between Sonny and a man only known as Carmine, a name Blaze had never heard. Unable to sit still, Blaze took the message to Dante. She expected disbelief or suspicion. What she got was worse. Concerned silence. "Where did you get this?" he asked, eyes narrowing. "It came to me this morning," Blaze whispered. "Do you think Sonny could have set her up?" Dante sighed, looking away. "I don't know what to think anymore." News spread fast. Within a day, the media had the message. Natalia's final video ignited a firestorm. The burned estate was re-examined. Investigators reopened the case. Reporters hounded Blaze. Ava, Carly, and even Michael were pulled into the maelstrom. But Sonny? He remained composed, too composed. At Pozzolo's, Sonny gathered his most trusted associates. Dex was there, quiet and calculating. Brick stood beside him, furious. Nina appeared last, still unsure if she belonged in this world. "Someone wanted Natalia silenced," Sonny said. "And they used my name to do it." Brick leaned forward. "You're saying this was staged? That someone wanted to frame you?" Sonny nodded. "Natalia was dangerous to them. But I've been setting a trap for weeks. Now they think they've won." Unbeknownst to Sonny, Natalia had shared more than a video. She'd left physical evidence, maps, receipts, burner phones, all hidden in the walls of the recording studio she used during her last days in Port Charles. And someone had found them. Curtis, doing repairs for the rec center, stumbled upon the hidden stash. Tucked behind an old sound panel, the contents painted a twisted story. There were notes about Carmine, surveillance photos of Blaze, and documents listing Sonny's warehouse movements, detailed, coded, and damning. Curtis brought the evidence straight to Jordan. "This isn't just about Natalia," he told her. "This looks like a setup so big, it spans months, maybe years." Sonny knew all eyes were on him. He let them be. He played the part of the suspected crime lord while quietly tightening the noose around the real enemy, Carmine Sabatini, a name long thought buried in the ashes of mob history. Carmine had ties to Ava's gallery, to Valentine's overseas operations, and even to a rogue section of the WSB. It had been Carmine, not Sonny, who lured Natalia to that estate. It was Carmine who ordered the place burned, after using it as a blackmail hub to record politicians and high rollers in compromising positions. And Sonny knew it. He invited Carmine to the Metro Court for a private meeting. The media wouldn't dare approach, and Carmine couldn't resist Sonny's bait. "Come alone. Let's talk legacy." What Carmine didn't know was that Sonny had the place wired, and not just with cameras. Inside the Metro Court suite, the two men sat facing each other, the tension sharp as a razor. "You've stirred up a lot of dust," Sonny said. Carmine smirked. "I thought you'd be proud. Smoke and mirrors, right?" Natalia never knew what hit her. That was all Sonny needed. From behind a hidden panel, Dante and Anna burst in, followed by federal agents. Carmine froze, his words still lingering in the air. incriminating words now recorded and broadcast to every agency that had waited years to bring him down. "You son of a," Carmine snarled. Sonny stood slowly. "You thought you were setting me up, but you walked right into my house." Blaze, watching the takedown unfold from her laptop as news stations picked up the live feed, burst into tears. Her mother had died trying to expose something real, and Sonny had known the whole time. But instead of retaliating in blood, he'd waited for justice. Later that night, Blaze received another message. This one from Sonny. "I couldn't tell you everything. You deserve truth, not war." Natalia was brave. She knew what Carmine was. And so did I. The message included a deed, a donation in Natalia's name, a music program at the Port Charles Rec Center, a home for young voices, a tribute to the woman whose silence now sang louder than words. Port Charles began to breathe again. With Carmine exposed and arrested, new investigations reopened across state lines. Natalia was honored posthumously by the city. Blaze performed a memorial song, one her mother had written but never released, during a candlelight vigil in Rice Park. Jordan closed the case with tears in her eyes. "She didn't die in vain," she whispered. Sonny, standing far off near a tree, didn't speak. He just watched the crowd, a quiet protector in the shadows. And somewhere in the distance, the wind rustled through the trees above the ashes of that burned estate, finally at peace. But not all stories end with truth. Because as Anna debriefed Carmine, another name emerged, one that chilled her to the bone. "Who helped you set up the estate?" she asked. Carmine grinned. "You think I did this alone? There's someone still out there. Someone higher up." Natalia knew his name, but she didn't record everything. Anna's eyes widened. "Who?" Carmine only laughed. Weeks later, a lone figure entered the ruins of the estate at night, moving through the ash with practiced ease. He knelt near a scorched beam and pried something loose, a flash drive, long melted on the surface, but still recoverable. He slid it into his coat pocket and whispered, "Natalia, you were brave. But you should have known secrets this big don't die in fire." The figure turned and vanished into the night. Back in Port Charles, Sonny poured himself a glass of bourbon and stared out the window. The trap had worked. But the game? Far from over.